We're on the letter Ta. Ta for Talabul Ilm, seeking knowledge. We read in the Quran, وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. Say, O my Lord, increase me in knowledge. Obviously, if we're asking Allah to increase us in knowledge, that means we're supposed to actively seek it as well. There's also the famous hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said, طَلَبُ الْعِلْمِ فَرِيضَةٌ عَلَى كُلِّ مُسْلِمٍ. Seeking knowledge is obligatory on every Muslim. In fact, now in the 21st century, it's even more essential for us than it's ever been before, considering the number of people leaving Islam these days out of ignorance. That's the biggest problem. Many of us don't actually learn and think about the religion ourselves. We just copy what our parents do. Taqleed, blind following, is something that's never encouraged in Islam. Allah tells us in so many places in the Quran to think and reflect and understand. He says, أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَى الْإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ. Do they not look at the camel, how it has been created? وَإِلَى السَّمَاءِ كَيْفَ رُفِعَتْ. And the sky, how it was raised up. وَإِلَى الْجِبَالِ كَيْفَ نُصِبَتْ. And the mountains, how they were set up. وَإِلَى الْأَرْضِ كَيْفَ سُطِحَتْ. And the earth, how it was spread out. We are always told to open our eyes and understand. And it's no less when it comes to our religion. We shouldn't be Muslim just because our fathers were Muslim. We should be Muslim because we believe in Allah and His Messenger. And we should also encourage other people to learn and understand. If your child asks you why we do something in the religion, explain it to them. And if you don't know the answer, try and find out, look up what the answer is. Now that we've established that we all need to seek knowledge, there are 4 points that I want to make regarding our journey on seeking knowledge. The first is an-niyyah, intention. Most of you will have heard the hadith of intention. We should do this for the sake of Allah because Allah has commanded us to learn about our religion, not because we want to impress any human being. The second point is humility. It's narrated that Imam Malik, the most knowledgeable person of his time, once entered the mosque between Asr and Maghrib and sat down, because in his madhab, as in many others, there's no sunnah prayer between Asr and Maghrib. One young man who had just started learning the religion yesterday came up to him and said, "What is this? Don't you know that when you enter the mosque, you're supposed to pray sunnah prayers first before sitting down?" Without saying a word, Imam Malik stood up and prayed 2 raka'at sunnah. When asked about it afterwards, he said, "Yes, in my madhab there's no sunnah at this time, but I didn't want to be of those who are referred to in the verse, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمُ ارْكَعُوا لَا يَرْكَعُونَ. When they are told to bow down to Allah, they refuse to bow down. So you can see the humility of Imam Malik. The sad reality is that if one of us with a fraction of his knowledge was in the same situation, we would probably say to this young guy, "Don't you know that at this time there's no sunnah?" The third point I want to make is that we learn to benefit ourselves first before benefiting others. When you begin learning, don't look so far ahead to when you'll be teaching and posting videos on YouTube, because that will make you rush through everything very quickly without properly understanding any of it. In a sense, it's like someone who studies purely for the sake of passing an exam. Everyone knows that those who study for the sake of exams end up cramming a lot of learning into a very short space of time, and they don't fully understand what they need to understand. So rather than jumping straight to the biggest book of fiqh out there, work your way up slowly. Learn in steps. Don't be hasty to complete every single big text there is out there. The fourth and final point I want to make about seeking knowledge is what we should expect if we do it for the sake of Allah. Unimaginable reward. We know the hadith where the Prophet said, "Man salaka tariqan yaltamisu fihi ilman sahhala Allahu lahu bihi tariqan ila al-jannah." Whoever selects a path seeking knowledge, Allah will make his path to Jannah easy. We also know that all the creation of Allah, even the fish in the very bottom of the oceans, make dua for the one who is seeking knowledge. So if you do experience struggles when you're learning, and no doubt every single person who seeks knowledge will experience struggles, then remember this reward that is waiting for you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us all to learn more about our religion. Allahumma allimna ma yanfa'una wanfa'na bima 'allamtana wa zidna ilma. Wassalamu alaykum.